Hi guys, my name's Andrew, or petitevanilla on Twitter. You guys are probably here because you've seen that post. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. One thing I want to say before I go into it is it's never okay to misgender somebody. It doesn't matter if you don't like them, it doesn't matter if you don't believe them. It costs $0 to at least respect somebody. Just basic human respect. And especially if you're misgendering someone while you're defending me, I don't need it, I don't want it. So let's go ahead and get into this. Basically, me and Ren were friends forever, like over 10 years. Ren made a video, a 25-minute long video, about a situation where they dated my ex-boyfriend who sexually assaulted me and a few other women. So they knowingly did this. And in the video they said that they apologized, that they owned up to their actions, that they were also manipulated, and instead of it being like a, he manipulated Ren, that was an isolated issue, and Ren manipulated us as well as he, Ren tried to just put themselves in the same position as me and the other girl, which didn't feel good considering that I never actually got an apology. So upon this video being made, my family found out. Some old friends found out, and that was a conversation that I wasn't ready to have. It was a conversation I never planned on having with them. So it's hard to have to sit down with your family and talk about this intense experience without warning or planning, and not by choice. That was probably the hardest part of all this. But yeah, so basically I didn't give permission for that video to be posted. I wasn't asked, and it was posted without my permission, which really fucking sucked. And when it all went down, Ren did reach out to me privately and asked me what I wanted, and I told them, bare minimum, the other girl at least deserves an apology, because a lot of the things that Ren said to the other girl, I just personally was worse. I'm a very motherly person, I guess. I want to take care of everybody around me, so I thought that she at least deserved an apology. So Ren sent me an apology, which I forwarded to the girl, and then they posted a public apology to their followers where they called me a toxic person and this and that, and the 3 people they used to justify that were a girl I met at a party one time, the other girl's ex-boyfriend, and my abuser's close friend. So that was funny. But whatever. I really don't care at this point. The only thing I care about, and the only reason why I'm making this video, is because there's no one left not to tell. My whole family knows now. All my friends know now. I had any privacy I had completely ripped away from me. And it's not because I made this video, it's not because I made that post. They already knew. And the fact that when this first came out, I saw people, oh, well, it's so good because Ren apologized to the girls, Ren fixed things. Nothing was fixed. And I don't want an apology at this point. If I'm going to get closure, it's going to be from me. I'm not going to get closure from another person, especially not a person who I've already given a significant chunk of my time to, especially not a person that I've reached out 2 separate times to try to talk about things, to try to fix this, because I understood that this is something that was going to blow up later. And when those initial tweets were made, I even suggested that me and Ren both delete our tweets so this didn't blow up again, because I knew it would eventually. And I deleted a lot of mine, which is why you don't see them right now. But Ren didn't delete theirs because of whatever, but that was their choice. So even the fact that this is circulating again, I don't really know who Calvin Garr is, really. I don't know who he is. But I do know that it is Ren's own fault that this is still going on, because I personally suggested they deleted their tweets so that we could both be over this. But I guess Ren liked the liked being right, and liked all their followers sending me hate while, he liked it and was like, ha ha ha, yeah, she is a bitch. That's cool. It's fine. I really genuinely don't care, because I'm not a social media person. But I feel like at this point, as far as this has gone, and the fact that it still hasn't been addressed, and the fact that he's just waiting for this to blow over to come back to social media, is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And even if I don't want, even if I don't want an apology, if I don't want to talk to Rin, I think that his followers, bare minimum, deserve to know the truth. I think that people deserve to know the truth, and as hard as this is for me, there are thousands of people who look up to Rin and who see him, on this platform, and they idolize him, and that's okay. You can like the good things a person did while still acknowledging the bad, and that hasn't been done, and it's frustrating explaining to Rin's fans, what happened when I'm not the one who put my business out there in the first place. So I just also, that's pretty much it. That's what happened. I don't want to be contacted again about this, but I do appreciate the support. I appreciate the people who have checked up on me every day, total strangers who have just gone out of their way to make sure that I'm safe and that I'm okay, and especially my husband for dealing with me this past week, because it hasn't been an easy one. But yeah, so that's my story.
Hi. I would just like to say first and foremost that I am not really involved in this situation. The most involvement I have is that I talked to all three of the people involved, being Rin and the two victims. The second girl actually found me herself. She's been keeping a very low profile, so I had no way of contacting her, but she did reach out to me, and after going back and forth for a couple days, I let it be known to her that I was going to be making this video, that I had permission from Ander, and that Ander was going to be making a statement, and I asked her if she had anything to say. Because if there's anything that both the girls deserve in this situation, it's a voice, which is not something they have had. Rin has the advantage of thousands of followers, which is very unfortunate, but, I believe that support and, just positivity will overwhelm that. I sure as hell hope so. So I told her that I was making this video, and this is her statement. Thank you for thinking of me. Speaking out on this situation makes me really nervous because I felt and still feel extremely invalid about having trauma from it. And I think I handled it in a way where I didn't care about myself. Andrew had already graduated, and I had a class with Rin every other day, and the situation became my entire world because I couldn't get away from it. And I really loved Rin, and I wanted to be his friend enough that I did that to myself. So my position as a victim never made sense to me, as I made myself suffer just for Rin's sake. And at the time, no one in that circle would acknowledge what happened or even ask how I was doing, like I was expected to sweep it under the rug. But my friends now tell me that Rin gaslit me, and being gaslit can change your worldview drastically, so maybe I don't feel the way I should about these things. I replied, I'm not going to read that because it's not important, but she came back with, thank you so much. It's been really nice to read everyone sending support to me and Ander, which I encourage all of you to continue doing. They need it more than anything. And like I said, the fact that Rin is getting more support than they are is awful, for my opinion on the situation. Coming from somebody who actually had a back and forth with Rin themselves, my first impression was not good, and throughout the whole time they made excuses. It was, oh, I'm sorry, but... There is no but. There should never be a but. The apology where Rin basically insulted Ander and sent a bunch of people to bully her and like their comments, that was this time last year. That was last February. That was not a faulty youth. And it became, a problem that never ended because this time last month, Rin had their manager harassing Ander and people defending Ander, while hanging out with their manager. Actions speak louder than words, and Rin's actions really don't show any remorse to me. The fact that they feigned remorse on one social media platform and then just totally ignored it and swept it on the rug on all others, they've been creating content the day that this happened, the day that they pretended to be so upset by it. That is a two-faced person. I just call it like I see it. To rehash something that Ander said at the beginning of this video, please make sure you're gendering Rin the way they want to be gendered. Just for everybody involved, it's better that we not make this look like it's malicious. It's not what we're doing. We're giving a voice to the voiceless, people who've not had a say in what happened to them at all. They deserve to, be heard. So, if you guys could, you have the advantage of typing and being able to see what you say before you send it. If you could please, just correct yourself. I understand imagining somebody's face and gendering it based on how they present. We all do it, but again, you have the ability to correct yourself. At the very least, use gender-neutral pronouns, I guess. This is pretty much all that I had to say. If you could just take this time to, give an outpouring of love and support to these girls, they really deserve it. I will also be putting all of the brands that Rin is sponsored by, because I'm not personally into makeup. If I were, I wouldn't want to support a brand that is making a name for an abuser, so I personally will be emailing all of those brands. I'm not urging anybody to do that. I'm saying what I'm doing. Thank you for watching and listening, and if you took the time to watch, take the time to give your love and support to them. Bye.